Hello and welcome to my review of Midboss. It's a game by Kitsune Games, as you can see in the bottom left. This is going to be a bit different of a review style for this game. I think it's more appropriate that I do sort of a live commentary as I'm reviewing the game. Normally I would do more scripted things, but this game is primarily focused on gameplay. So I'm really just going to be going over gameplay things here. Maybe a few other things real quickly, but yeah, mostly we're just going to jump in, take a look at it, and talk about what it has to offer. This is a roguelike game, so you're going to be doing a lot of dungeon crawling and moving around and killing different things, but the main thing that makes this interesting, the premise behind this game, is that you're going to be, you'll be switching monsters as you go along. So you start off as just sort of a devil guy, and then you kind of work your way up possessing different monsters. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at how exactly that mechanic works. Alright, so I've already played a bit, quite a bit, and this is one of the games that I died on. I survived 4,404 turns, and it tells you a little bit about what happened during your playthrough. I love to be a plague rat. Plague rat's like one of the first things you can be, but the thing that's interesting about the plague rat and why I used it a lot is that you can go pretty quickly. So let's take a look. This is some of the equipment that you can get in the game. Got swords, armor, all sorts of simple roguelike equipment that you might expect. What this is you choose goods to bring with you before you get started. So I think I will probably be taking one of my better things, like either this or this. Just go ahead and take that. I think you can only take one. One from each one of these, but I'm not sure. I've only ever seen one card here, so it seems like you can only take one item. See, if I try to take something else from the same thing, it won't do it. It'll only put one item in. Alright, so you go ahead and click accept. Here we have the opening cutscene sort of thing. Yeah. It's basically just kind of a silly thing. We can go ahead and skip that and just jump right in. This game isn't about, it's not what I would normally enjoy, personally. It's not about story, it's not about lore and that sort of thing as much. It's just jump in and you're fighting. So here's the first mechanic that I was talking about. Possess. You can use 5 mana to possess a rat. So you see over here, inflicted vessel condition on the rat. And then when you kill the rat, as we're going to do right here, you possess it. So you can get all sorts of stat bonuses depending on what you happen to possess. In the case of the plague rat, it's just a little bit of a stat increase for most everything. So go ahead and possess, and there you go. We've unlocked the form now. So now we're a plague rat. Over here you can see your stats as a plague rat. Beast is what you are. You have your abilities. And Venom, which is sort of a poison. And then the next ability that you get when you level up. So there's all of that. This is what you start out as. You start out as Imp. And as you level up, you get... you can take... This is one of the more interesting things, actually. Let's see if I can go here. You have equipped forms, so when you're an imp, say... let's see if I can depossess myself real quick. If I can remember how. Alright. So here you go. Depossess. When I'm in imp form, I don't have any equipped forms. Just the imp. But I can choose Plague Rat. And it changes my color a little bit, and it also gives me this ability over here, in Venom. So you can do this with all of the different enemies that you possess. And as you move up, you get better and better abilities, you get better stats, and it's kind of just plays out at that point like any roguelike. So let's kind of move around and see what other sorts of creatures we can find and possess. So here's another Plague-Rat. I do like to play as the Plague-Rat for a couple of reasons. Let's possess him real quick. At least at the start. One of the main reasons is the next ability that he'll get. See if we can level up killing some of these other rats. It's a bit weak, as you can see. Alright. So, of course, as you're going through here, you're smashing crates. There's fish in the crates. You will see why there's fish in the crates at some point. You can also pick up items. Obviously, you press Alt, and you can see what they are. Take a look, see if you want it. Press G to pick it up. So here is another character that you'll find as you're going along. It's the Cat Merchant. He's pretty much just the trader. Trades items, buy, sell, that sort of thing. We'll find him on the next level at some point. Going through here. Just kind of looting and doing all that sort of stuff. The thing about potions in this game is, from what I understand, you never really know what potions are going to do. So this could do anything. It could benefit you, it could harm you in some way. Say if we use it right here, 0 stamina. It's unfortunate. So you kind of use potions at your own risk. There's sort of a risk-reward to that. I'm probably gonna die to this thing. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, actually, if I can, without dying... Looks like this thing might be pretty close to my speed. Go up here real quick. Rest. Some of my mana back. It's a bit cheesy, but you do what you gotta do in these sorts of games, okay? Try to poison this guy. Run away and let him sort of bleed out. Alright, so now we've possessed a shield. We have a different form now. But what we can do, which I was mentioning before, is we can equip this, the Plague-Rat form, and then we have this ability up here. You could choose what ability you have. I think you might get all of them, or you can choose. I'm not 100% on that. But I guess we can see as we're going along. Right now I just have the Envenom from the Plague-Rat. I did level up, so we can see how that works here. So here is the level up screen. You have Violence, which is magical physical, Cruelty, which is minimum damage, criticals, condition, strength, defense, physical and magical, and then HP, mana, and stamina. All sort of, you know, your average leveling up situations. Alright. So at this point, you've seen pretty much all of the mechanics of the game. It does get pretty deep when you go into it, because you're trying to figure out exactly what stats you want, what stats are best for which forms, what items are best with which forms. So, see if you have this form over here, which I'll get real quick. This is a vampire bat. Has a decent amount more HP than we had before, I think. Maybe not. Probably only because it was a higher level. So this one has magic, so obviously I didn't even equip stuff. I'm obviously not great at the game. Not great at the game. I could have been using this really strong thing this whole time. But if you have magical abilities, obviously you're going to want weapons and items that are tailored towards that. So that kind of adds a bit of depth to the combat. So if I hit this guy, I should be doing, yeah, way more damage than I was doing previously. Yeah, I'm bad, but hey, we can't all be amazing MLG game players. So here is another different kind of enemy. It's the cultist. Don't have enough magic to possess him. This was a mistake. Oh god. Yeah, I died. Alright, so now I'm an imp and I'm about to die horribly within the first 5 turns. Oh god. Okay. Well, now you see what happens when you die. There's the game over screen. Here's the card that you get at the end. You survived for 438 turns. Love to be a plague rat, strung through the dungeon, poisoning everything in sight. Shame they got sacrificed by a brainwashed cultist. So, yes, even sadder, boys. That's the name that I chose for my card. I had a previous one called just Sadder Boy, or Sad Boys. So I guess there it is. That's Midboss. It seems like a pretty fun game for what I played. The decent amount that I played. You get, as you move along, you get bigger enemies, better enemies. You switch to better forms. And it just kind of progresses along like that. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to speak of when I'm talking about this game. If you're the kind of person that wants more, kind of more depth in the worlds, more depth in the story and that sort of thing, I don't think you're really going to find it in Midboss. So in that case, I can't really recommend it to you. If you're looking for something that's more along the lines of just roguelike combat, that's all you really care about. You care about more gameplay things. This could be a pretty good game for you. So I suggest you check it out yourself, see if you like it or not. It's not that expensive. I think it's maybe $20 on Steam, somewhere around there, 15 to 20. So it's not a lot of money, and you kind of get what you pay for. But yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. It's the sort of thing I play when I'm listening to podcasts or whatever, and I think it's pretty good. Not the best roguelike that I've ever played, but you could do a lot worse, I think. So yeah, this has been my review of Midboss. I'm Melchiorus from Game Clouds. Have a good night, friends.